We all think we know the Great Pyramid of Giza, right? It's one of the biggest mysteries on the planet. But what if its true purpose has nothing to do with ancient Egypt as we know it, and everything to do with a lost world, a world buzzing with electricity and cosmic radiation?
So let's just ask it. Why was this thing really built? I mean, we've been asking this for centuries. A pharaoh's tomb? Some kind of ancient observatory? Sure, those are the answers you read in a textbook. But you know what? They've never really explained all the bizarre, incredibly precise features of the pyramid.
The theory we're going to dive into today is, well, it's a mind-bender. It proposes that the Great Pyramid was actually a machine, a functional device. But here's the kicker. It was a machine designed for a completely different Earth, a planet that existed over 40,000 years ago.
Now, to even begin to understand this idea, we first have to look at the puzzles it's trying to solve. We need to look at all the weird things about the pyramid that just don't add up, the things that suggest it was way more than just a big tomb.
Okay, first up, the materials. The most important room, the king's chamber, is built from these massive blocks of Aswan granite. They had to haul these things over 800 kilometers. Now, this granite is loaded with quartz, up to 30% of it. And quartz is piezoelectric, which means it creates an electric charge when you put it under pressure. Think of the little clicker on a gas grill that makes a spark. So why on earth would you go to all that trouble for a special electric rock when there's perfectly good limestone right there?
Then you've got the precision, and this is just jaw-dropping. The base is leveled to within a few centimeters across 13 acres. The sides are aligned to true north with an accuracy that, honestly, we've only matched in the modern era. This isn't just good craftsmanship. This is a level of accuracy that screams function. You just don't build a monument with the precision of a scientific instrument unless it is a scientific instrument.
And inside, it just gets weirder. You've got these so-called air shafts that don't actually go to the outside. They're built at these incredibly specific angles, and the chambers themselves can resonate at very precise acoustic frequencies. You know, for ventilation or for some kind of ritual, none of this makes any sense at all. But what if you start thinking of them as components in a machine? Suddenly things start to click into place.
Okay, so if the pyramid is a machine, where's the power source? What do you plug it in? Well, the theory suggests the power source wasn't in the pyramid. The power source was the entire planet itself. And the key to this idea comes from a totally different field, geophysics, and a strange event in our planet's distant past.
It's called the Laschamp excursion. So around 42,000 years ago, something really dramatic happened. Earth's magnetic shield, you know, the thing that protects us from all the harsh radiation from space, it collapsed. For centuries, it was down to almost zero strength. The whole planet was bombarded with cosmic rays, and the atmosphere itself became intensely ionized. Basically, it became super electrically charged.
Just look at the difference here. Our world today is pretty calm, it's protected. But Earth during the Laschamp event? It was a totally different beast. With that magnetic shield gone, cosmic radiation literally doubled, and the atmosphere became this crackling, supercharged sea of electrical energy. It was a world just perfectly primed for a machine designed to harness all that power.
So here we are. We have a pyramid with all these bizarre architectural clues, and we have a forgotten, high-energy version of our own planet. So what happens when you put these two puzzle pieces together?
This right here is the central idea. The pyramid isn't broken, it's just dormant. It was a device that was precisely engineered to tap into the supercharged atmosphere of the Laschamp event. It doesn't work today because the planet's power switch got flipped back when the magnetic field returned to normal.
Now, this isn't just a cool story. This is where it gets real, because it leads to a prediction you can actually test in a lab. The theory says that if you take that Aswan granite, you put it under the same pressure it's under inside the pyramid, but you do it inside a simulated Laschamp atmosphere, its electrical output would be amplified by 10 to 100 times.
So how in the world do you test something this incredible? Well, not with speculation. You do it with a serious, multi-million-dollar scientific proposal that wants to recreate that lost world right inside a laboratory.
The experiment they've proposed is a really clear three-phase plan. You start small. First, you just test the granite itself to see if it really becomes super piezoelectric. If that works, you move on. You build scale models to see if the pyramid's unique shape actually focuses that energy. And then, the final, definitive test, you build a full-scale replica of the king's chamber and you power it up.
Yeah, and this is no small undertaking. The estimated budget is over $2 million. That alone should tell you this is being treated not as some fringe idea, but as a serious scientific question that's worth spending significant money to answer.
So what are the stakes here? What's the end game? Well, the beauty of this whole experiment is that no matter what the outcome is, it leads to a profound discovery.
This experiment is what you'd call a fascinating win-win. I mean, think about it. If the hypothesis is true, well, that completely rewrites human prehistory as we know it. But even if it's false, we still gain this priceless data on how materials behave in extreme electromagnetic conditions. And that's knowledge that's vital for materials science and for protecting our own technology during future geomagnetic events.
And that right there, that's the core of great science. It's not about being right, it's about finding answers. The whole goal here is to replace a mystery with actual data. And whether that data ends up supporting an incredible new version of history, or it just gives us a new page in a physics textbook, the experiment is a victory for knowledge. So we're left with this absolutely staggering question. Does the Great Pyramid stand there as a silent testament to a totally forgotten chapter of Earth's history? Was it built by people who understood our planet's electrical cycles in a way that we're only just beginning to imagine? With this experiment, we might finally get an answer. Thanks for joining this explainer,